Stephen Z was pretending to be a woman, and this is how I found out. So this whole thing started months ago when a random profile messaged me a broken heart when I posted a picture of me and Stephen dating. We went on a date to a restaurant. He never posted about me. He never tagged me, nothing. So nobody would have known about me. I said, I'm not brokenhearted. I'm great. I'm doing good. And they were like, no, he has a girlfriend in every town in Long Island, every gym. And it was definitely like a message to make me feel insecure. And I didn't pay any attention to this account. I didn't give it any mind until all of a sudden he was telling me people are starting to think you're my girlfriend because I had posted a video that kind of went a little viral. And I was like, well, isn't that the point? We're dating. This is when other accounts from his page started to look at mine. And he told me to block all of them except this one. Now, this account had profiles on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. Now we're going to flash forward to everything that happened in the hotel room. When he attacked me, I had him message all of the women that he was fooling around. There are women at home sitting around thinking they're the only one, when in reality, he's having relations with all of New York City and Long Island. So we had to set some things straight and make sure that other women weren't getting hurt. This account was one of them, but I noticed she was the only one that didn't answer. Not until the 2nd of September. She messaged saying he looks so good. Messages were getting progressively weirder and more personal, and started saying things like, you know, he misses you and things like that. And basically like that I should drop the charges that I have against him, asking me very specific questions regarding the legality of what was going on in terms of me pressing charges against him, asking me what the next steps would be, how serious it is. I was talking to my new friend who also dealt with him and his nonsense, and she immediately saw the way he was texting and said, yep, this is definitely him. This is him texting you. So I started testing the account, and the answers were very, very Stephen. Now, the account said that Stephen had stopped responding to their messages, so that account wouldn't know anything new that's going on in his life. So I mentioned a girl's name, and the account said, who is that? And I said, well, this person is this. And I gave some details that only Stephen would know. And they responded with, that person is gone. This person didn't talk to Stephen. They wouldn't know that. It wasn't until I did a reverse Google search on the picture that's on the profile that I realized this is not the real person. And guess what? She is a TED Talk speaker, and she speaks perfect English. Very articulate, very well spoken. And this person typing did not have a complete grasp on the English language. It's a dead giveaway that you are not who you say you are. I sat on this information for a while and started talking to the account as if it was Stephen. And I started saying things that I would only say to Stephen, and guess what? The account responded exactly how Stephen would respond. I went to the account and I gave them the LinkedIn, the Real Elizabeth profile, the Real Elizabeth website, her TED Talk, everything, and asked them to come clean. And that's when I said, I know it's you, Stephen, and I could go to the investigator with this and talk to them about it, but instead I'm coming to you, and I'm just letting you know that I know it's you. I also want to make a note that this account was only following Stephen, nobody else, and every single time he posted, they would make sure to comment and hype him up. So it was very obvious that it was a fake account. Apparently this account has been active for years, and not only harassing me, but harassing all of his ex-girlfriends. This was just a page that he would use to hate on women that he was dating and make them feel insecure or make them feel some sort of way. At this point, the whole thing is just screaming psycho. So after I call this page out and they give me a fake name, and I say to them, like, why did you do this? What was the purpose of all this? What was the end game? All of a sudden, I was blocked. They didn't just block me, because if they just blocked me, that would be one thing. They completely erased their online presence, meaning the Facebook profile is gone, the TikTok profile is gone, the Instagram profile is gone. And why would you do that if you're just pretending to be this person to harass women? And if I'm the only one that knows, like, why erase your entire online presence? So the account said that their name was Jess Restrepo, whatever, it's up here. And I wasn't going to say anything, but then when I really started thinking about it, the fact that they deleted their entire online presence makes sense. Not if they're Jess Restrepo or whoever, it makes sense if they're Stephen, because by him contacting me, he's now opening himself up to possibly having done something illegal. And what's the best way to hide your tracks? To delete your entire online presence. So whether it is this girl, Jess Restrepo, or whoever, or it is Steven, all we know for sure is that it's not Elizabeth. Also, she asked really weird questions like, how was the sex? Why are you asking how the sex was? Now, the craziest part is this account used to pretend that it was his cousin. So for a while there, we were calling it the Elizabeth cousin, not cousin, because we all knew that it definitely wasn't his cousin, and we had a feeling that it wasn't Elizabeth. From Steven's mouth, he said that Elizabeth is a real person and that she got him gigs.
On Instagram, I kept Elizabeth, and she got me a drink from a break sport.
And that they never dated, and that she helped him and was super protective. But if her name is not Elizabeth, because we know it's not Elizabeth, and her name is Jess Restrepo, and Jess Restrepo is telling me not to tell him because that's a big secret, then who got him the gig? Who was this person? If it wasn't Jess, and it definitely wasn't Elizabeth. Also, why is this person protecting him and standing up for him? He seems to know this person. Apparently, they said, oh, my mom loves him. And he said, oh, her family loves me. So that was corroborated from both of them. That doesn't make sense if you're not really Elizabeth and you don't want me to tell him that you're not Elizabeth. So who are you? Well, that being said, beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's no other person it could be. The account knew just a little bit too much. If you really were Jess Restrepo, or whoever you were, you wouldn't have deleted your entire online presence and begged me not to tell Steven when he supposedly already knew you. That's how I discovered that Steven was pretending to be a woman.